I think the first step to protecting vanishing species is to know that they exist. Documentary films are my way of understanding wildlife through a human narrative. Through the stories of animals, birds, forests, oceans, and our interactions with the natural world, I believe we can understand our place in the planet a lot better. Just like cave paintings taught us about extinct creatures from thousands of years ago, film and photography may do the same for 21st century animals. Films are that tool for me to encapsulate rare images and stories and share them with the world. Growing up, I have a vivid memory of a strange illustration being hung up in my home. It was the face of a pheasant, a chicken-like bird called the western tragopan, state bird of Himachal Pradesh that very few people had actually seen in the flesh. In the monsoon of 2018, sitting in a height at 3,000 meters above sea level, I managed to document this bird. A red face, blue neck, black velvety body, and a call that echoed across the Great Himalayan National Park. This bird had eluded many explorers before me. I now understood why the western tragopan is a flagship species. It's a bird so unique and beautiful. We have made it a token for all conservation activities that take place in its ecosystem. This bird started me off on my journey into the Himalaya and on a lifelong quest of documenting other rare and endangered species. The peacock, another pheasant, is probably India's most famous flagship species. The western tragopan was more special to me. It's also an endemic species. This means that it is only found in a niche landscape and nowhere else on the planet. This bird is a habitat specialist, one that can't live outside of its current distribution. The mountains where it resides are under an increasing pressure from the construction of roads and dams. The bird is also hunted for its beautiful feathers. This rare beauty has inspired many local names, Fulgar and Jazi, even Pyara. It was historically hunted to appease the highest devis and devtas of the mountains. Although hunting is now illegal, local people continue to revere this bird as a special gift from God. Because they are very rare, it's also one of the most difficult species to protect in the 21st century. Less than 3,000 individuals survive in the wild today. Forest officers and scientists are working with local people to save this bird from going extinct in our future. This shy, elusive bird exists in a special quarantine of its own, a conservation breeding facility in a small village called Sarahan. They're breeding this bird in captivity to facilitate wild numbers if and when there is a population crash. I went on an insane adventure to document a single rare species like the western tragopan. This elusive bird is important to me because it's a token of all other unseen and forgotten species. Losing myself in a story like the tragopans is just a reminder that there is so much more in the world outside of our lives and even our species. I also feel that representation is generally very important, both of unexplored landscapes and species, but also of the storytellers themselves. Personally speaking, my grandparents are still farmers in a remote corner of Himachal Pradesh. As someone with that Pahadi heritage, it was important for me to tell stories from my context. Millions of such species are existing in every landscape of India, and some could be in your own backyard. The more storytellers we have from diverse backgrounds, the better it is going to be. India is only in its early stages of biodiversity research. Not just rare birds, we haven't even scraped the surface of what else is out there. Smaller mammals, life cycles of common species, and even kingdoms like fungi, plants, and insects are very unexplored. The deep oceans are a complete mystery. This pandemic has been a time for me to reflect on our dependence on nature. And as we're stuck in our homes, it might be the perfect time to explore within our surroundings for unique stories we currently have access to.